what's happening around the world
and what's happening here at home. A very good evening. You're watching Primetime News here on TV1. For the Newsfirst team, I am Hashini Patirana.
And I'm Sandro Ferdinando. Let's take a look at your headlines for tonight.
President assures support for security forces in anti-drug operations.
අපේ මේ මෙහුම අඛණ්ඩව මේ ව්‍යසනයේ පරාජයට පත් කරන තෙක් මේ මෙහුම දියත් කරලා තිබෙනවා.
Navy seizes another multi-day vessel suspected of narcotics transport in southern seas. Several UNP seniors skip opposition rally. SJB divided on participation. Opposition leader demands exposure of media links to drug trade in Parliament. Gum at the Thabo Mbeki Library and Reading Room opened for students.
The war on drugs. For our children, for our tomorrow.
First up in news here at home, President Anura Kumar Dissanayake reaffirmed his commitment to stand by security forces personnel in any challenging situation during operations aimed at freeing the country from the grip of narcotics. He made this assurance while addressing the Southern Province program of the National Initiative, A Nation United, dedicated to eradicating the drug menace.
The national operation, A United Nation aimed at eradicating the menace of illegal drugs in the country, was launched in the southern province today at the Tangol Public Stadium. A large gathering attended the event, including the Mahasangha and other religious leaders, ministers and parliamentarians, members of public security committees, actors, the police, the tri-forces and foreign diplomats.
Just as a heavy downpour washes away the dirt in a frog's pond, the presidential election and the general election were like heavy rains. The local government election subsequently removed the murky, unclear and impure water from that pond. That means the political authority was purified. However, the moss and water hyacinth-like elements have not been completely removed. There are monks in the capital with power and influence who give unnecessary voice cuts, saying that the religion is deteriorating. They are tirelessly working to bring religious and ethnic conflicts back among the people. But the people have now understood the time where the saffron robe was used for politics is now over.
Veteran actress Anuja Veerasinghe also expressed her views here.
We need to ask ourselves, did we look at our own children? Did we check if our child has changed? Parents, before you point a finger at others, please look at yourselves. Why is the child getting angry more than usual? Why are the child's eyes red? Why is the child breaking down? Why are the children like this? They can't breathe. Why they can't breathe? When they are in this state, in acting, we teach something called Angika Abhinaya or physical expression. In that, we are taught to stand upright. Why is the child who used to stand upright now breaking down? We don't look into these things. We scold them. There are mothers and fathers who say it would have been better if we bought food for the dogs with the money we spent on you. They scold the children like this. They say, we work so hard to get you to this level. Did those children receive love? We treat the symptom but don't look for the cause. We don't look for the cause. Why did the child go down that path? We must give our contribution to the best of our ability without biting the hand that feeds us. No matter which party or which majority is in the government, if the task being done is for our benefit, why hold back? Parents, are we waiting until our children are destroyed? If a child is breathing like this, if a child is doing that panic breathing, listen carefully when you ask them something. Watch them closely. Be mindful of the children who are breaking down, children with red eyes and children who look down.
Members of the security forces involved in the raids under the national operation, A Nation United, were also honored and recognized at this event.
මම ඔබට එකක් කියන්නම්.
අපේ හාමුදුරන් වහන්සේලාට අපේ පූජකතුමන්ලා
I assure our clergy and the people that this government will never provide political protection to any criminal. No individual connected to drug networks will enjoy political immunity. That is why we launched this national movement to eradicate the drug menace. Some are trying to create confusion and distract the public from the real issue by manufacturing false narratives. We will not fall into those traps. Our mission will continue with firm determination, and we will win this battle to save the nation. To our officers, never allow the honor of your uniform, your rank or your position to be tarnished before criminals. Whatever decisions you take will be enforced, and in any difficult situation we will stand by you. Begin your work with confidence. I know that last night a vessel carrying narcotics was seized in the deep sea. That is not enough. The public knows who the drug dealers are, those who amassed wealth through this trade. Yet fear keeps communities silent. Families have fled areas like Homagama out of fear. When arrests happen, people feel relief. They celebrate. But that is not the end. Therefore, we are establishing public safety committees in villages to fight these networks. Communities must rise against drug dealers and their criminal links. But this is not only about suppression, it is also about healing. We have allocated significant funds in the budget to set up rehabilitation centers and launch a scientific, health-based recovery process. We invite every parent to hand over their child to us. We will return them to you as they were before addiction. The political authority has changed. I guarantee that. We ask you to change too. Let us unite and fight together. We will not abandon this mission to free our nation from this devastating menace.
මේ ජාතිය මහ ව්‍යසනී මේ ජාතිය මුදවා ගැනීමේ මෙහෙයුම අපි අත්තරින් නැතු ඉදිරියට ගෙන යමු.
Those who attended the event thereafter recited the pledge of a nation united.
Meanwhile, 6 individuals were apprehended by the Sri Lanka Navy along with a multi-day fishing vessel earlier today during a special operation in the southern seas after officers uncovered a substantial hold of suspected narcotics on board. Now, the vessel was brought to Tangol Fisheries Harbour this evening, where police confirmed that the recovered bags contained ice and heroin narcotics. Now, Navy spokesperson Commander Buddhika Sampath said that 6 fishermen on board have been arrested. The suspects were arrested during a joint operation by the Police Narcotics Bureau and the Navy in the waters south of Sri Lanka. The Navy suspects that 18 bags of drugs are on board the vessel.
Three suspects in possession of 4 kilograms of kush valued at 40 million rupees were arrested by the Police Narcotics Bureau at the Bandaranaike International Airport. The 3 suspects were arrested at the airport upon their arrival from Malaysia. Meanwhile, 30 more kilograms of kush valued at 150 million rupees were found in 2 separate parcels that arrived at the Central Mail Exchange. The drugs were discovered during an inspection carried out by officers of the Central Crime Investigation Bureau following a tip-off. The drug consignment had been sent from Thailand packed in 2 boxes. In a separate incident, the police special task force conducted an operation on Halawat Road in Kochikade, leading to the arrest of a suspect. The suspect was apprehended with an Italian-made revolver and a significant quantity of narcotics, including 7.974 kilograms of hash and over 1 kilogram of cannabis.
The Inland Revenue Department has achieved its highest ever tax revenue collection for the year 2025, marking a historic milestone in the country's fiscal performance.
As of the 17th November 2025, total revenue collections reached approximately 2,02,241 rupees. This represents an increase of 60,079 rupees compared to the total revenue collected in 2024, which stood at 1,942,162 rupees. The IRD says this achievement reflects a substantial contribution towards strengthening the government's financial position within the first 11 months of the year.
Finance Secretary Dr. Harshana Surya Peruma emphasized that consistency, consultation and integration as the backbone of the 2026 budget. Speaking at a forum in Colombo, he said that this creates a narrative of how Sri Lanka plans to transform its economy rather than just what the budget contains.
There were 6 key strategies the budget was focusing on, including export diversification, growth, debt sustainability, strengthening the production economy, eradicating rural poverty, and by promoting digitization. I think we would have seen different versions that was explained in the recent budget sessions. It would have been dissected by professionals and experts on those approaches that government is proposing to take this country forward in our medium term, and to, as I mentioned earlier, to pave the way forward for the long-term growth of this nation. How did we plan to get the country from where it is now to these milestones that we have highlighted for the future? Message number 1 is consistency. If you look at the budget, we would see that government is marching on the direction while maintaining consistency in terms of taxation, in terms of the approaches that we have taken for debt creating the debt sustainability, in terms of opening up new opportunities. It is the approach of consistency, approach number 1. Second is doing that one in consultation. Instead of taking a single-handed view, we conducted several discussions with the stakeholders. In one angle, with the state agencies, line ministries, government departments, but over 20 industry consultations with different segments of businesses. Let it be the tourism sector, manufacturing sector, you name it, agricultural sector, several forums where His Excellency the President himself attended to listen to the concerns of businesses, stakeholders and citizens. That is the second approach. And the third approach is through those consultations we understood to take this nation forward. We are limited to 65,000 square kilometers and 22 million in terms of population, whereas world is a much larger place. We want to move in to integrate Sri Lanka with the rest of the world, and therefore it is a must, it is imperative that we integrate with the rest of the world, because in order to capitalize the opportunities presented by the world, we need to prepare ourselves. One of those strategies is to ensure we look into the possibility of entering into trade agreements.
The Finance Secretary asserted that Sri Lanka is not waiting until 2028 to start repaying its debt. The country, he emphasized, is already meeting its obligations.
We have clearly demonstrated it's not that Sri Lanka is going to start repaying its debt in 2028. That is a myth. Sri Lanka is already paying its debt. 2024 we paid a significant amount, over $1 billion. 25 we have paid a significant amount, once again in billions of dollars. There are certain engagements, certain debt discharge that has to be done during these years as well. We have made them on a timely manner. And similarly, if you look at the requirements for 2028 compared to what we have paid in 2025, the increase is we consider it as only marginal. So therefore, we are very confident. The approach that we are taken, obviously it requires to continue us on the path of the financial discipline that has been brought into the system in two angles. One is to maximize the revenue side of it. Other one is to ensure expenditure is controlled in a manner that every rupee is spent with responsibility, because it is the taxpayers' money. So both angles are being looked at, and our cash flow management process approach that we have taken has helped the Treasury to manage its reserves very well. We have utilized some of those savings to retire some of the local debt that is available in rupee terms.
Sri Lanka is setting an ambitious target for its tourism sector, with Foreign Affairs Minister Vijitha Herath announcing plans to welcome 2.4 to 2.5 million visitors by the year end, marking a historic milestone. The country recently celebrated its 2 millionth tourist arrival this week.
The India-Sri Lanka Tourism Connect, focusing on fostering friendship and collaboration between the two nations in the tourism sector, took place in Colombo.
Tourism is central to Sri Lanka's economy. This week, we welcome our 2 million tourists and we expect 2.4 to 2.5 million arrivals by the year end. A historic milestone. By 2030, we aim for 4 million tourists and $8 billion in revenue. To reach this goal, Sri Lanka is prioritizing sustainability, market diversification, improved connectivity, and digital transformation. We are aligning with global trends, including the Riyadh Declaration on the Future of Tourism, which supports integrating AI and digital tools into national tourism planning. Indian arrivals have increased in recent months, supported by the visa-free entry facility and targeted promotional campaigns. Sri Lanka remains one of the top short-haul destinations for Indian travelers. We are focusing on city breaks, beaches, heritage tours, MICE tourism, destination weddings, film tourism, and cricket tourism. Our road shows, B2B engagements, and airline partnerships across Indian cities continue to strengthen this momentum. Given our 2,500-year relationship, we see significant opportunity in religious tourism, including the Buddhist circuits and the Ramayana trail. I also encourage more Indian filmmakers and investors to consider Sri Lanka for hospitality projects, events, and film production.
This event was titled From the Ganges to the Kalani, a voyage of friendship and discovery. The High Commission of India to Sri Lanka praised Sri Lanka's competitive edge in offering high-quality yet affordable experiences, from pristine beaches to misty mountains.
Sri Lanka occupies a special place, not just as a neighboring destination, but also as part of India's travel imagination. The proximity, familiarity, and emotional resonance of this island make it a preferred choice for Indian travelers seeking beauty, culture, and relaxation. I am delighted to note that India remains the single largest source of tourists to Sri Lanka. In 2024, over 417,000 Indian tourists visited Sri Lanka, accounting for around 20% of the total arrivals. Continuing this trend, by October 2025, more than 430,000 Indian tourists had arrived in Sri Lanka, representing nearly 23% of total arrivals. Today, nearly 150 weekly flights connect multiple Indian cities to Colombo and Jaffna. The resumption of the Nagapattinam-Kanke-Santure passenger ferry service has further deepened our people-to-people linkages. Additional maritime routes are also being explored. However, what we are witnessing today is only the tip of the iceberg. As I mentioned earlier, India records over 2.5 billion domestic tourist visits annually. This is the segment that Sri Lanka should aim to tap. Even if just 1% of this were to travel to Sri Lanka, it would mean around 25 million visitors, nearly 60 times the number of Indians who travel today to Sri Lanka. This alone highlights the extraordinary potential for growth in our tourism partnership. Sri Lanka's tourism industry holds a distinctive competitive edge in today's regional market. The ability to offer a frugal yet high-quality experience Within just few hours, a traveler in Sri Lanka can journey from pristine beaches to mist-covered mountains, a contrast few destinations in the world can offer. This unique balance of quality and diversity positions Sri Lanka perfectly to capture a larger share of India's rapidly growing tourism market. India has been consistently supporting the growth of Sri Lanka's tourism sector by encouraging greater investment, promoting stronger connectivity, and deepening industry partnerships. We are actively facilitating Indian investments in hotels, restaurants, and recreation facilities. We recognize that high-quality infrastructure is essential for attracting global travelers.
The event highlighted opportunities for luxury and affordable travel experiences across India for Sri Lankan travelers, emphasizing synergies in natural beauty, cultural heritage, and adventure tourism.
Taking a look at more local news now, according to former parliamentarian Ashu Marasinghe, several senior leaders of the United National Party, including its deputy leader, are expected to skip the opposition alliance's rally scheduled to take place tomorrow in Nugegoda. Now, at the same time, the Samaki Jana Balavegya is split on whether they should take part in the rally tomorrow.
Personally, I have decided not to participate. This rally is essentially an attempt by Namal Rajapaksa to rebuild the voter base he has lost, and I don't believe the United National Party should be a part of it. It simply doesn't align with our position. The UNP and the SJB needs to enter into an alliance. If at some future point there is a need to come together for a common cause, that can be considered separately. But I cannot agree with the UNP appearing to couch under Namal Rajapaksa's shawl. From what I have heard, Deputy Leader Ruwan Wijewardena is not attending either. It has also been reported that Naveen Dissanayake will not attend. Similarly, I believe Deputy Leader Akila Viraj Karyawasam is likely to stay away as well.
SJB MP Hector Pohami announced that the party has formally decided not to join tomorrow's opposition alliance rally.
It is not a matter of liking or disliking. We will clearly not be taking part in the rally. We have made that decision as a party policy. We know the method of standing up against the government. Therefore, we will stand by that method.
However, Ananda Palitha, a trade union leader of the Samaki Jana Balavegya, says that the party's working committee has not taken a decision to refrain from attending tomorrow's rally.
I am taking part in this meeting because none of the trade unions in our coalition have expressed opposition to it. Likewise, the SJB's trade unions have not received any decision from the organizational management committee or the party's working committee saying we should not go.
Meanwhile, both the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna and the Sri Lanka Freedom Party assert that members and supporters of the Samaki Jana Balavegya are preparing to take part in their rally, scheduled for tomorrow in Nugegoda.
Grassroots politicians and activists aligned with the Samaki Jana Balavegya are now joining our campaign. Similar shifts are visible across the Gampaha district. There are also politicians who provided resources and support to the Samaki Jana Balavegya who are joining us as well. Participation or non-participation is something that should be decided according to each individual's political opinion. However, the opposition leader has said that even if he does not participate, party members will attend this event. This is a gathering of the people, and it is up to the opposition leader to decide whether or not he himself will attend on behalf of the people.
Representatives of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna conducted inspections this morning regarding the organizational arrangements for tomorrow's rally.
Without a doubt, a historic mass rally will take place here tomorrow. That is certain. Sajid Premadasa will not be attending the rally physically. However, the SJB will have representation at the event.
The public accuses opposition political parties of attempting to sabotage village-level development efforts by defeating the budgets of local government institutions. In several areas, residents have staged protests and even held prayer gatherings to voice their opposition to what they describe as an act against the people.
On the 13th of November, the opposition coalition defeated the inaugural budget of the Dodangala Pradeshia Sabha, which is administered by the National People's Power. The Samaki Jana Balavegya, Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, independent group, National Freedom Front, Sarvajana Balaya and the United National Party were among the political parties that joined together to defeat the budget. Yesterday, residents engaged in a religious activity at the Sri Muthumariyamman Kovil in Tudugala, protesting what they described as an attempt to sabotage the revival of long-stalled development projects intended to benefit the village community. Meanwhile, on the 14th of November, the inaugural budget of the Padiyatala Pradeshia Sabha was also defeated by a 4-vote majority, with the opposition coalition acting in an organized manner. This is the public's reaction to the move.
September, October, November කියන මාසවලදී මෙතන මාස දෙකක් දෙකමාරක් වගේ කාලයක් දැඩි නියගයක් තියෙනවා. ඇත්තම කියනවා හැමෝටම බීමට වතුර පවන්න නැති වෙනවා. මේ කියන කාරණා නිසාම අපි අයවැය වෙන් කරගත්තා මේවර ලක්ෂ 9ක වගේ මුදලක් නළලින් හදන්නත් වතුර බෙදා හැරීමට. ඒ කියන්නේ අපේ තියෙන ප්‍රතිපාදන අනුව අපි එහෙම මුදලක් වෙන් කරගත්තා. ඒතර එවැනි අයවැය තමයි මේ පරද්දන්නේ මේගොල්ලෝ. අපිට මේ පාර දැන් හැදිලා තියෙනවා. දැන් වතුර ප්‍රොජෙක්ට් එකක් මෙතන ලිඳලන් ගහලා කන්න මුදුනේ දෙනවා කියලා තියෙනවා. දැන් ඔක්කොම හරි ගස්සලා ඔබතුමාලා හිටියානේ. ඉතින් මේවා තිබුණානේ. ඔබතුමාලා මේ පාරේ ආවානේ. ඉතින් එන්න බැරුවනේ තිබුණේ. ඉතින් දැන් මේක හදලා තියෙනවා. ඇවිදින් බැලුවා නම් හරි ඔය කියන කට්ටිය.
වෙන පක්ෂ හිටියා තමයි. නමුත් මේ විදියට ඉක්මන් විදියට මේ අපේ ගමට සංවර්ධනයක් කරගෙන ගියේ නෑ. කරගෙන යන්න ගත්ත විතරයි මේ විපක්ෂය අර බල්ල පිදුරු කන්නේ නෑ. කනහරකට දෙන්නේ නෑ වගේ මේ කට්ටියට කරන්න දෙන්නේ නෑ.
Meanwhile, the opposition coalition defeated the inaugural budgets of the Yatiyantota, Tangol and Kalutara local government bodies today. Those councils are currently under the administration of the National People's Power.
While the opposition coalition continues efforts to block the budgets of local government institutions affecting development projects in villages, an organized group has been attempting to create a crisis in Trincomalee over the past few days. This is the current situation at that location in Trincomalee. Coastal conservation officers had issued a 7-day notice to remove a restaurant built along the Trincomalee shore after it was identified as an illegal construction. However, a group from Colombo attempted to escalate the situation by claiming the land belonged to a temple. The restaurant was operated by a relative of the Trincomalee organizer of the United National Party. Before the 7-day deadline expired, a foundation stone was laid on the site with support from the group that arrived from Colombo, claiming that a Dhamma school was being constructed. A statue of Lord Buddha was also brought to the location, further fueling the controversy. A petition has now been filed with the Court of Appeal regarding this land, and the incidents in Trincomalee have also been formally reported to the Magistrates' Court.
History offers ample evidence of attempts to sow discord within the Sri Lankan nation and create crisis. Do you recall similar efforts in recent times? Why are individuals who once made serious allegations against Dr. Shafi Shihabdeen, who now has been acquitted by court, making similar claims today about the incident in Trincomalee? Here is a comparison of statements made then and now.
The vast majority of complaints, over 300, were from mothers claiming they could not conceive after surgeries performed by Dr. Shafi. That alone is enough to consider him a criminal. This is a war on the womb, a form of ethnic genocide. It deprives children of their right to be born. It is a crime against Sinhala mothers. Therefore, anyone who attempts to whitewash this murderous doctor is committing an even greater crime. They are even having their own people place Buddha statues to provoke tension, trying to manufacture racism that does not exist. By seizing the statue and engaging in such actions, they attempt to create rivers of blood to hold on to power. The real racist incitement comes from the government, which is trying to create situations where bloodshed becomes possible. There was a concern about the security of the Buddha statue, so it was taken to the police, secured and returned to the same place. Should we praise this or should we condemn it?
The ruling party announced in Parliament today that strict action will be taken against a false report claiming that a recommendation from the chairman of the Public Safety Committee is needed to obtain a police report. Now, authorities are preparing a criminal investigation into the newspaper that published the report, in addition to taking action before Parliament's Privileges Committee.
That was the same response to the snake story, wasn't it? When a reporter from Kalania reported it, she She said they had nothing to do with it. How can such reporting be justified in the media world? Now, when we raise these issues and a complaint is filed with the Criminal Investigation Department, the Press Council or any other relevant authority, some claim that the media is being suppressed. This is not media suppression. The people have a right to know the truth. I am saying that media owners can hold any political views they wish, but journalists have a responsibility. They should be able to openly mention the company they work for without shame, because this is the proper platform to discuss these matters. Since the person making these allegations is present, the relevant legal actions are being taken and complaints will be lodged with the appropriate authorities. Our aim is to protect media freedom while ensuring the public's right to know the truth.
ජනතාවට ඇත්ත තොරතුරු ගන්න තියෙන අයිතිය ආරක්ෂා කරගන්න බොහොමතුති.
මාතර කිරින්ද පුහුල්වැල්ල ප්‍රාදේශීය ලේකම් කොට්ටාසේ
When Kankanam Patiranage Anuradha Madhushan of the Kumbalgoda Grama Niladhari Division of Puhulvella Divisional Secretariat in Kirinda Matara applied for a private sector job through Hakmana Police Station, he was told that in addition to the Grama Niladhari report, he also needed a character certificate from the chairman of the Community Police Committee. The chairman in question is P. Ramavikrama. DG Deneth, a resident of the Lenakotua Grama Niladhari Division in the jurisdiction of the Kamrupitiya Police Station, when he requested for the police report, Sampath Vikramasinghe, the chairman of the Community Police Committee, he is the NPP chairman of the village, they asked for a character certificate from the chairman of the Community Police Committee, Sampath Vikramasinghe. You said that this was the best placed to present these facts.
චරිත සාධකයක් එහෙම අරගෙන ඉන්න කිය. මෙතන තමයි හොඳම තැන කිව්වනේ කරුණ ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න.
කියපු ආර්තාවේ දිනේ කියනවාද මට දිනේ මොකක්ද කියලා?
දිනේ මා සතුව නැහැ.
ඔව් ප්‍රජා පොලිස් කමිටු තිබ්බේ.
ඕක මහ ලොකු දෙයක් නෙවෙයි.
නෑ නෑ දිනේ ඇහුවේ. ඔබතුමා කලබල වෙන්න එපා. දිනේ ඇහුවේ. කලබල වෙන්න එපා. දිනේ නැත්තම් දිනේ නැහැ කියන කමක් නැහැ. ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ.
I only asked for the date. If you do not have the date, say that you don't know it. There is no issue. We have established public safety committees and any such certificates would have come from the community police committees previously mentioned. That is why I asked for the date, because neither the Ministry of Public Safety nor the police department has issued any circular requiring a certificate from the chairman of the public safety committee when issuing police character certificates. Obtaining a certificate from the Grama Niladhari is the practice when obtaining police reports. After the public safety committees were established, nothing like that has happened. Community police committees existed under the previous governments. I don't know if that happened at that time, which is why I asked for the date. But if such an incident occurred at any police station, I will check on that.
නමුත් මේක යම් පොලිසියක සිද්ධ වෙලා තියෙනවා නම් මම මේක පරීක්ෂා කරලා බලන්නම්.
ඇත්තටම ගරු කතානායකතුමේ අපේ ප්‍රදේශවලත් කොළඹ නගරයේත් මේ ලියුම අරගෙන එන්න කියනවා මේ ආරක්ෂක කමිටු සභාපතිවරයා.
Sri Lanka's opposition leader Sajith Premadas issued a challenge to the government to stop talking and start acting against media institutions allegedly tied to the narcotics trade, which was a claim made by President Anura Kumar Dissanayake in Parliament earlier this week.
අපිට අහන්නට ලැබුණා මේ රටේ ජනමාධ්‍ය ශ්‍රේෂ්ඨ දැන් කුඩු ව්‍යාපාරයට සම්බන්ධයි. ඉතින් මේක ඇතුළ ඇවිල්ලා කියන්න ඕනේ නැහැ නේ. අල්ලන්න නීතිය ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්න ඒගොල්ලන්ට. කුඩු ව්‍යාපාරයේ නියැලෙනවා නම් මාධ්‍ය ආයතන නීතිය ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්න. දැන් ජනතාව බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ රජයෙන් විපක්ෂයේ දේශපාලනයක් නෙවෙයි. ජනතාව බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ උත්තර. ජනතාව බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ විසඳුම්.
Germany Commander Tushara, chairman of the Citizens Movement Against Fraud, Corruption and Waste, filed a complaint against parliamentarian Namal Rajapaksa at the Bribery Commission today.
The Citizens Movement Against Fraud, Corruption and Waste challenged the validity of Namal Rajapaksa's position as an attorney by filing a complaint at the Bribery Commission today.
We are submitting this complaint today because the editor of the Daily Mirror newspaper, Nirmala Kannangara, had conducted an investigation that revealed certain information she had obtained from sources through the Right to Information Act on a website. There are qualifications for admission to the Law College of Sri Lanka. One can either take the entrance examination offered by the Law College and gain admission, or one can enter by obtaining a degree from a recognized university elsewhere. Namal Rajapaksa entered the Law College by submitting a degree certificate he obtained from a foreign university called the City University. However, when this editor obtained the information after filing an RTI request in 2025, it was revealed that Namal Rajapaksa was admitted to the Law College on the 25th September 2009. This is noted in the application he submitted, and he also paid a sum of 10,300 rupees. At that time, his degree certificate was dated the 15th September 2009. However, this is where the problem arises. The Law College officially recognized this city university 20 days after Namal Rajapaksa was admitted to Law College on the 25th September 2009. It was effective only from the 15th October 2009 that the Law College began accepting this university as a recognized institution. Therefore, the offence of corruption is evident within this matter because it was after a specific individual, Namal Rajapaksa, was admitted to the Law College that this university was recognized, and Law College accepted that a degree obtained from this university would be recognized for the legal profession. In that sense, according to the Anti-Corruption Act, an act of corruption has occurred here.
දූෂණ විරෝධී පනතට අනුව මේක දූෂණයක් සිදු වෙලා තියෙනවා.
News First with the people.
Sri Lanka held talks with the European Union in Brussels on governance and human rights.
Sri Lanka's Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Employment Arun Hemachandra met with Serban Dimitri Stutza, chair of the delegation for relations with the countries of South Asia of the European Parliament, and other members of the delegation. The discussion centered on Sri Lanka's path toward inclusive governance, stronger minority representation, and its commitment to meeting key EU standards on democratic reforms, human rights, transparency, accountability, and the rule of law benchmarks. Officials reaffirmed their determination to deepen Sri Lanka-EU cooperation as the country moves forward with unity and stability.
The Ceylon Heritage Festival in Colombo brought together fashion, craftsmanship and culture in a vibrant showcase of Sri Lanka's heritage.
The festival opened with a striking fashion presentation, blending traditional Sri Lankan textiles with modern designs. Creative segment followed, showcasing contemporary draping inspired by Tumbra weaving and handloom craftsmanship. Three key heritage awards were presented, recognizing outstanding contributions to cultural preservation, artistry, and creative legacy. The night concluded with a powerful final runway featuring rare, limited edition Dumpara textiles, highlighting the precision, heritage, and artistic skill behind these ancient crafts. The Colombo Heritage Festival was a celebration of culture, artistry and tradition, capturing the timeless beauty of Sri Lanka's heritage.
Today, the Gammadda Thabo Library and Reading Room at Ampegama Primary School in Galle was officially handed over to the children. Remarkably, the library was completed and handed over in less than 5 months since construction began.
Ampegama Primary School, nestled in the Valivitiya Divitura division of the LPT Education Zone, is home to nearly 600 bright young minds. These students have consistently demonstrated excellence not only in academics but also in a wide range of talents. Yet, for years, they share one common challenge: the absence of a proper library. The dream began to take shape when former South African President Thabo Mbeki, during his visit to Sri Lanka on the 29th of June, partnered with Gammadda to initiate the construction of a library for these children. Just 5 months later, thanks to the Gammadda Fund, a fully equipped library and reading room now stand proudly on the school grounds. Today, This facility, complete with books, was officially handed over to the students, marking a historic moment for the community. The ceremonial opening was graced by the chief incumbent of the Guru Singhagoda Diyaparama Viharaya, Venerable Ampegama Samidhi Thera. South African High Commissioner to Sri Lanka Sandil Edwin Shock, Gammadda leader Siobhan Daniel, and several distinguished officials, including education directors, divisional secretaries, law enforcement representatives, and the school principal, Saman Chandana. The event was attended by MTV MBC Public Relations Director Priyantha Vijay Singha, Sirasa TV Director Dharma Shri Bandara, Newsfirst Digital Director Janitha Mendes, MTV Special Projects Manager Anushka Leuke, Gammadda General Secretary Prasanna Tukorala, Gammadda National Organizer Udaya Vanyarachi, V-Force National Organizer Gihan Udyoga, and the Gammadda team. The occasion was made even more special with the participation of popular actors who joined hands with Gammadda. Speaking at the event, High Commissioner Schalk emphasized that a generation cannot fulfill its mission unless its foundation in education is strong.
We began life in an apartheid society where the libraries were a privilege. Mr. Principal, we were seeing white kids going and studying and having libraries we never had in our schools. But the determination for education is what drove us across. At times we will go to school and we'll be told by others that we're not going to make it in life. But we are standing here now far away representing our country. So the investment on the young is very, very critical. They may be looking like they are visionless, they are not going anywhere. But what you have said, what your teachers have implanted in those minds will always be remembered from the time that they are emerging out of the school to the time they lay their lives. The investment in education is so important. So it is our encouragement on behalf of President Mbeki and on behalf of South Africa and the partnership that exists between the two countries that this investment on these young ones will continue and the movement's vision will always be appreciated. So go on, march on, and ensure that these young ones find their role in life. Each and every generation in life has a mission, but it will never be able to actualize its mission unless the foundation based on education are intact. Because the success to education is based on the firm foundation. The success in life is based on the firm foundation. So, sir, this foundation that you are putting in will leave an indelible mark, will change lives. Lives will change countries. But I must also hasten to say, lastly, the women who accompanied us, who led us when we were coming in their motorbikes, was an amazing sight. And I wish to also outline the importance of that investment. For I strongly believe that a nation that does not invest on its women does not deserve its future. What we saw is an investment that will always yield positive results. Because the women that were leading us were an indication of giving birth to something bigger than what you can imagine. Because if women share a vision, that vision is shared by a nation. Because at all times, when days were dark, when times are tough, the people who will always be the last pillar that will hold the society together are women. So what those women have done has left in me an indelible mark.
Principal of the Ampegama Primary School Saman Chandana also addressed the gathering.
It is with immense pride joy that I stand before you to mark this momentous occasion, the opening of our new school library, named Gammadda Thabo Mbeki Library. This is not just opening of a building, it is the opening of countless doors to knowledge, imagination and opportunity for our students. I would like to begin by expressing our heartfelt thanks to the Gammadda movement for making this dream a reality. Gammadda has been a beacon of hope in our communities, transforming lives through selfless service and dedication. This library is one symbol of their commitment and rural development and their unwavering belief that every child, regardless of their circumstances, deserves access to equality educational resources. Also, I would like to express our profound gratitude to the former President of South Africa, who honored our school by laying the foundation stone for this library. On behalf of that great leader, today, the High Commissioner of South Africa has come to our small school and warmly welcome you once again with happiness. I pay our gratitude to you, sir, for participating in this important occasion. I wish may this library be blessed with wisdom, knowledge and endless discover.
Education Director of the Valivita Divitura Division, Takshila Prasadi Vijay Singha, also shared her thoughts at the event.
Former South African President Thabo Mbeki visited our Challenging Education Division and laid the foundation stone here as a global citizen. Within just 3 months, a library was built with the unwavering dedication of the Gammadda team, showing our children a pathway to explore the world. I am deeply grateful to the Gammadda leader and team for this remarkable service.
The program concluded with a heartwarming gesture, the distribution of nutritional packs to expectant mothers in the area, reinforcing Gammadda's commitment to holistic community development. For the children of Ampegama Primary School, a library was once only a dream. Today that dream has become a reality, a legacy that will inspire generations to come. Gammadda, for the people, by the people.
Shakti FM, known for creating programs that connect with listeners, celebrates their 27th anniversary today.
On the 20th of November 1998, a new chapter in radio history was written when Shakti FM launched, setting the stage for a revolution on the airwaves. For 27 incredible years, Shakti FM has delivered its content with a truly unique flair, constantly adapting to the times to become a powerful, unwavering voice for the Tamil-speaking community. Beyond just playing the hits, Shakti FM prides itself on being a trailblazer, initiating changes and revolutions across culture and society. Broadcasting its diverse programming with crystal clear digital sound across the world, Shakti FM has proven its global reach. More importantly, the station has earned a reputation as a trusted ally of the people, always quick to offer support and a helping hand during disasters and national emergencies. To mark their 27th birthday, the celebrations were held this evening at the vibrant Shakti FM studios in Depanama. The ceremonial cake cutting was led by Shivan Daniel, Group Director of the Capital Maharaja Group, alongside Ajay Titus Alexander, the dedicated Shakti FM channel head. Adding a touch of star power, renowned Indian music composer Bharatwaj graced the event as the chief guest. The studio was filled with well-wishers, including senior officials from the Capital Maharaja Group and the entire talented Shakti FM team, all gathered to salute their enduring success.
Mudakarata modakam sada vimukti sadakam
Kaladharavatam Sakam. Now Shakti FM has been, as rightly said, it's been a part of Sri Lankan Tamil's life. And I, for one, has been one of those lucky people to have been associated with Shakti FM for a long time. In fact, more than 20 years I've been here. Since the last 20 years, I've been regularly coming to Shakti Group for various channels of theirs. The radio station, the TV station, and also I have composed music for a Sinhala movie, U-Turn. And that was a great kind of association I have with Shakti FM, Shakti Group. And largely due to the great support and love from late chairman Sri Raj Mahendran. He had a special liking for me, and I would be called for almost everything. If I remember, frequently I will be called and said that why don't you take part in this, take part in that, etc., etc. So such has been the association of mine with the great Shakti Group, and it's my real pleasure.
During the event, Shakti FM inaugurated its new YouTube channel, Podcult Infinity. This morning, Shakti TV adds special programs from the Shakti FM studios on Good Morning Sri Lanka.
வருடங்கள் அப்படின்றது வந்து மிகப்பெரிய ஒரு சாதனை தான். அந்த அடிப்படையில் 1998ஆம் ஆண்டு ஆரம்பிக்கப்பட்ட சக்தியினுடைய இந்த பயணம் மிகவும் ஒரு வெற்றிகரமான பயணமாக இருக்கு அப்படின்னு சொன்னா அதுக்கு நிச்சயமாக எங்களுடைய நேயர்கள் தான் காரணம்.
Shakti FM is a revolutionary force in the media industry in Sri Lanka, continuing to innovate and serve the people without interruption. And we at Newsfirst wish Shakti FM a very happy birthday.
Tonight we take you to this hidden sanctuary situated just minutes away from Colombo. This is beautiful Sri Lanka.
And with that we wrap up news for tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. Do take care and good night.
You may not know that a hidden marvel of nature lies just 20 kilometers from Colombo. Nestled on the outskirts of Diagama near Homagama, this lush rainforest stretches across 23 hectares, home to 85 bird species native to Sri Lanka. It is a vibrant sanctuary where nature thrives in its purest form.
Beautiful Sri Lanka.